I want to work today with conditional love, the notion of conditional love, and then, of course, contrast that with unconditional love. And usually, when we bump into this, is in relationships. And of course, we all like to be unconditionally loved. And for purposes of this, I'm just going to say when people love us as we are. And conditional love is maybe less desirable, it's less fun to be on the other side of, is they only love you when you are as they need you to be. In other words, when they're aligning with how they need you to be. It might be what they're projecting on you, an ideal, or it might be an imago, or whatever it is, an archetype of how they want you to be. And when you're that way, they love you, they open their heart. When you're not that way, they don't. They don't love you, they close their heart. They may reject you, it may just be subtle withdrawal, it may be abandoned, whatever it is. So, I want to take the idea of conditional love outside and broaden it to not just relationships, although it still ends up being largely in relationship, but still, I want to break it down. So, conditional love means that we love, or I'm going to use more kind of spiritual heart chakra terms here. We open our heart chakra, and allow our love to flow, and we love when the conditions for it align with how we think they should be. When we're in our comfort zone, things are going down like we think they should go down. There's often a little control in there. It's like things are going our way. We like the way things are. Everything's good, so we open our heart. Okay? And I want to contrast that with unconditional love, because this is where the power is. It's different. It's actually flip-flopped, as you might expect. And so conditional love is like we wait to see for the conditions, and then we open our heart. Or our heart's open, and if the conditions aren't there, we close our heart, one of the two. Unconditional love is just deciding that we want to walk with our heart open. Okay, so it's just like, I'm going to be open, and whatever goes down, I'm going to find a way to keep my heart open. And so conditional love is saying, when the conditions are right, I open my heart. When they're not, I close my heart, or I withdraw my love, or I just open heart chakra, closed heart chakra. Okay? And so it's more conditional. It's more like, if things are going my way, I'm open. Whereas the other unconditional love, not just our significant other and our family, but to walk with our heart open and to love everyone and everything unconditionally, that's a whole different thing. I'm finding a way to open my heart chakra, okay, without something going right. Maybe I do it in meditation, in yoga, in ceremony. I find a way, I open my heart chakra, okay, and say, this is the way I want to walk in life. This is the way I want to go through my day. And my practice is, I'm going to keep my heart open as I walk through my day. And then when something challenging comes, or something is not what I'm comfortable with, I'm going to find a way to keep my heart open and work through that, move through that. Now, if I get triggered, that's a different thing. Then I'm almost like outside of my heart, my body in a way. But even that, I can go and get back in my body and keep my heart open. So it's more of a practice. Unconditional love is a practice. And usually we can offer it in relationships when we walk with it as a practice, because we've got to if I can walk with it throughout my day, okay, and I can keep it, open 95% of the time, or whatever, or, close to all the time, then I can offer it in my relationships. So it's a choice. I'm going to be open. It's not like I'm going to be open when things are going my way. It's a different thing. And then, then of course the conditional love, not just in relationships, but otherwise it can get more toxic, and when it gets toxic is when the person is not how I need them to be. I'm going to manipulate them to be more like I am. Now, a lot of this is unconscious. We may not be malicious about it, but we start just giving them little signals that we would like it more if they were more this way. Sometimes that's appropriate if they're doing something that's not appropriate, but if it's just their personality and I want you to be more this way, it gets into control and manipulation in a hurry. Okay, and that's when it gets darker. Worse yet, also often unconscious, we can even punish the person a little bit if they're not acting as we would want them to, that we would have them, that we want them to be. Boy, I'm having a difficult time with that. They're not being as I need them to be, or a situation is not as I need to be, so I try to control it. And maybe that's appropriate if it's something, but maybe it's not. If it's people are pretty happy with the way it is and I go in and try to control it so I'm more comfortable, it gets darker in a hurry. So the thing I wanted to do in this blog is expand it just from relationships to the idea of conditions. It's like conditional love is the conditions need to be the way I want them for me to be open. Okay, it's conditional. My openness is conditional. My open heart is conditional. It's like a fair weather, open heart person. My heart's open when things are going good. When they're not, then no, not so much. Whereas unconditional love, it's a practice. I'm going to open my heart in the morning with my morning practice. I'm going to keep that sucker open throughout the day. When challenging things come, even if I'm angry, can you be angry with an open heart? Sure, you can. You don't have to shut down when you're angry or you're feeling sadness or any dark feelings or challenges. You can keep your heart open. It's like, how do I deal with my anger with my heart open? And becomes a practice. To learn a new way of walking, I'm going to walk through life with my heart open. And then, it's a learning practice. We bump into something and we shut it. It's like, okay, I got triggered, or this happened, or he really pissed me off, or whatever else. And then it's like, then we work with it. Well, how could I keep, in the future, how can I keep it open through that experience? And then we can, then we can take that into our relationships. And then our significant other and our family and our friends and our coworkers, they get to be who they are. And we find a way to love them as they are. Unconditional love. And so that is my video for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week. And it's almost like this week before Labor Day. And as you go through your week, just maybe observe, like, are you waiting for conditions to open your heart, or are you more just opening your heart and finding a way to keep it open? And just look at it without judging yourself. Just take a look and see where you're at. And maybe there's some potential for growth there. And I will see you in a week.